Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, y'all. Peace, y'all. Today we finally get the game we've been waiting for because all week long in this conference tournament, we've been watching our faves cruise right through. Okay, blowouts everywhere, and quite frankly, our team's been standing on business. Ain't been a lot of drama for real, for real. But today, I think all of that changes because tonight or this afternoon, we got a rematch. We got South Carolina versus Texas. Woo! We got two heavyweights, two teams that know each other well, two teams that both believe they should be cutting down those nets. So the real question is for y'all, is the most dominant team in the SEC about to remind the people who runs this conference? Y'all know who I'm talking about, Gamecocks. Or is Texas about to flip the whole narrative upside down? And is there a new chief in town? Is there a new captain in the SEC? Because y'all already know the motto over here on Her Core, Her Rules, especially in March. No team is safe. So pull up in the chat early. I need y'all predictions. Who y'all got? Who y'all got? Who y'all got? South Carolina or Texas, y'all? And more importantly, because tonight down goes Frazier, possibly. I don't know. But more importantly, will the winner of today's game cement themselves as being the best team in the SEC, hands down? These are some questions we gonna find out today, man. But first and foremost, man, shout out to y'all. Welcome back to Her Core, Her Rules. It's your girl Naja Lee, and this is the realest women's basketball breakdown on the net. Man, we on the road to 500 subs. That still continues. So all engagement on the channel is much appreciated. Y'all hit that like, hit that subscribe, and join the illest basketball community on the planet, y'all. Let's get ready to cook. Welcome back to my VIPs passing through Sports Talk Media. Salute to you, brother. Peace, 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 man. We just getting started. We just kicking it off, man. Shout out to the sponsor. Each and every episode is brought to y'all by For Your Lens, man. A dope brand inspiring dope people to do dope things. Check out the movement on freeyourlens.com. We about to get right into the action here because at the end of the day, man, this is why y'all here. This is why y'all here. Y'all know the theme. Y'all know the theme. No team is safe. No team is safe. Not even my Gamecocks team is safe. Although I think my Gamecocks will be safe today if we just talking predictions. Because I asked y'all earlier who y'all got. Y'all see the poll in the live chat. You know what I'm saying? Welcome to Sunday SEC finals. The poll is in the live chat. Y'all get into the poll early because as we go ahead and predict and place the backdrop appropriately, because we got to look at both teams, what they've been doing over the conference tourney, you feel me? And then we're gonna go ahead and drop our predictions. So while we gauge the temperature in the room, go ahead and put your join in the chat right now and let me know what you got, what you got, what you got. You feel me? Let's see. Passing through Sports Talk Media, I got South Carolina. Unless Booker going for 31, 11, and 5 again, they ain't got a chance. Whoo, baby. Look, we're gonna look at Texas and we're gonna look at what Maddie Madison Booker did yesterday. Okay, because she definitely showed up and showed out. So did Raven Simone. Raven Simone is crazy. Raven Johnson. Okay. We had some great performances from some great teams yesterday. That's why today's matchup is so important, not just for the SEC, but I think today's matchup sets the tone for March Madness, right? Because these are two of the four of the final four. So we getting the final four preview right now, whether we want the preview or not. We getting it, y'all, and I wanted it. You know, I wanted it yesterday. I was watching the game. Well, let's look at. Let's start. Y'all want to start with Texas first? We're gonna start with Texas first because I guess they had the more recent game in our memory. Texas versus Ole Miss. Who everybody put some ones in the chat. Who watched that game? Who watched that game? At least the majority of the game. The majority of the game, because I could see if you say, you know, I was kind of bouncing around because it started off, you know what I mean, it was kind of and then it teetered off. So I could see that. I could see that. But if put some ones in chat, y'all watch the game. Shout out to y'all. Peace, Jeremy. Peace. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the chat. Welcome back, y'all, to her core, her rules. If y'all new here at any point in the live stream, if y'all new here, man, when y'all pull up, just let me know where y'all repping, what team y'all repping right now in today's matchup, and then who you got cutting down the nets this year in general. Okay, so let me know if y'all new here. So yeah, if y'all watched the game, shout out to Jeremy. Jeremy said he watched the game. I know Passing Through watched the game. Passing Through don't be missing no games. I don't know. You must got 8 TVs set up at the crib. Like, okay, I got, because you Passing Through Sports Talk Media come in every day with stats. You feel me? I'm like, bro, how you know? Shout out to you, bro. Shout out to you. Okay, I had Ole Miss winning. They looked good at the end of the third quarter. They did, didn't they? They actually look good. They actually really look good all game for real. Like the first half as well. That third quarter, they really tightened up. Like they was getting their behinds whooped, but I was seeing some things in the first half. Like they were still making that game, keeping it a respectable 8 to 10 points. You know what I mean? 11, not too bad. It wasn't bad. So then it got out of hand at the end. But I'm like, damn, Ole Miss might have a. I ain't need Ole Miss to. I wanted Texas to win, um respectfully, because I already had my cover art done. For real. Plus, who don't want to see South Carolina and Texas again? I know y'all wanted to see Ole Miss. I did too, to a certain extent, but I definitely come on, South Carolina, come on, y'all. We want to see the players play. I was in and out of the game. I was working. Same. I was in and out. I was bouncing in and out. When I wasn't watching the game per se, like actually looking at the game, I was watching the tracking the game, the score. So on ESPN. So it was cool, but you know, it was overall it was a good game. So I don't have nothing to complain about. Jeremy said I don't. So yeah, we're gonna take a look into yesterday's game. Let's look at what Madison Booker did. Let's look at what Texas did in general. Then we're gonna compare that to South Carolina, because at the end of the day, the reality of it is this: South Carolina represents a level of dominance in the SEC that's unlike any other team. Right? They have a dynasty. They have an expectation and a high bar that's just their everyday standard. And so to pay homage to them, first we got to look at and see who their ops are, which is Texas, right? And Texas got their own history and their own heritage that they're trying to live up to. But first and foremost, they gotta cut off the head of the snake, and that is undoubtedly South Carolina. So it is what it is. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. What did Texas do well yesterday that y'all think will translate in today's matchup? If y'all watched the game yesterday, what did you think, if you had one takeaway from yesterday's game between Texas and Ole Miss, that you think that if they do this against South Carolina today, we in trouble? Answer me that. Can Madison Booker do it against South Carolina? Because she does it to every other team in the SEC outside of South Carolina. That's an interesting question. I think that ties into the question that I'm asking y'all. For real. So we see that yesterday, the one thing that Texas did do well, right, is Madison Booker. She exceeded her own averages and expectations. Okay. Now, do we think that she can do this collectively as a basketball community, as fans with sometimes expert eyes, right? We have our biases because we have our faves, but at the end of the day, we can call a spade and we can keep a player over here. Do we really legitimately think that Madison Booker can duplicate this game in a 24-hour notice? Not even 24 hours, because the game started at 3:00 today. Let's look at the whole stat line. So Madison Booker played a big 36 minutes, right? And that 36 minutes that she played, let me zoom in a little bit. In that 36 minutes that she played, okay, she gave us 31 points. She shot 14 for 21 from the field, 11 rebounds, 5 assists. Now, baby girl did have 5 turnovers. Okay, y'all know how I feel about high turnovers. Anything over 3 really makes my skin crawl. But when you are efficient in the shooting category and you're giving us this 31 points, I'll eat that +2 on a turnover. I'll eat that. Then you gave us 3 steals, so you really made up for everything. Then you gave us 2 blocks. So 5 turnovers, you know what I'm saying? 5 get backs. I'll take that. I'll take that. Okay? But I think the one thing to me that's most impressive in this stat line for me is the rebounds, man. We know her. We know that Madison Booker can score. We know that she's a walking bucket. But the rebounding is very impressive to me because I think that shows an improvement in her game, a level of dedication to the small things, to the minute, to the detail, and that's what separates you from being a good player to being a great player. When the details become as important to you as making a bucket, when boxing out becomes as important to you than converting the open shot. When that happens, when that light switch turns on, that's when I know we got to play on our hands. We got to play on our hands. And as she continues to mature in this game, I think we're going to see her elevate, not just in scoring, not just in when she should be picking her shots, not just in not allowing herself to be taken out of the offense. Because we've seen Madison Booker, we've seen it. We've seen her just look like a shell and not play with any confidence offensively. That's not what makes Texas great. What makes Texas great is knowing that every time she steps out on that court, she's salivating. She's so wanting a victory in her mind that she's willing to do whatever it takes on the court with her body. You feel me? And so sometimes we don't see that. Yesterday I think we did. And shout out to Madison Booker, man. Hell of a game, hell of a stat line. Let me get to these comments. Texas has to win the rebounding battle and control the paint to win. That's the key, and I don't think they can. I don't think they can. I think that's the strength of South Carolina is their rebounding, not just from their bigs, but their guards. Though they guards don't mind getting down there too. You know, so yeah, and you know what? South Carolina bench so deep, they really Dawn really still ain't played some people for real, for real. Only people she really been subbing in is McDowell and McDaniel here and there. You feel me? But she ain't really been the rotations that we saw in December is not the rotations that we seeing right now. But that's the genius of Dawn. I allow 1 turnover a game. Anything else is unacceptable. Now, see, that's the thing. That's the thing. Like on a professional level, if we talking WNBA, because look, Chelsea Gray get averaging three plus turnovers, right? Kelsey Plum, high turnovers. Caitlin Clark led the league, right? So you can balance out maybe having a loose pass or loose dribble or trying to do too much if in fact you're trying to do too much because you're trying to invigorate your team or get people in certain spots, or you see something, so you may be one step ahead of the game or ahead of your team. So I can understand it if the production on the other side, whether it's defensively or points or assists, can make up for it. So if you giving me, 3 turnovers, that is high. So I'm not gonna say that ain't high. But if you giving me 3 turnovers a game, but you also giving me 7 assists, 12 points, 5 rebounds, 3 turnovers might look high, but your plus minus might still. Matter of fact, let's look at what Booker's plus minus was. Did I see it? They don't show it in they don't show their plus minus in college on ESPN. Are you kidding me? Let me see. They don't show their plus minus in college is crazy. Let me see if CBS Sports will. They trying to make me turn. I don't have time for it. Anywho. That being said, I mean, I think let's go and let me take a look at what else Texas did do well. I mean, Jordan Lee was definitely involved in the game. 6 for 13 from the field, 2 for 6 from 3-point. I think you kind of expect her to probably do the same output today against South Carolina, if not probably worse. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. They have. I think they have better. I don't know. She might do better because our guard defensively. Yesterday we're gonna talk about it. At the first half of the game, I was like, what are our guards doing? What is South Carolina guards doing? They getting beat everywhere. The zone getting beat. Everything getting beat. Putting a lot of pressure on our bigs right now. Right. So that's beside the point. We're gonna talk about South Carolina later. Jordan Lee had a great game. Rory Harmon again, her aggressiveness sometimes it just be like, yeah, it can work against Ole Miss, but I'm gonna tell you something. 5 points coming from your point guard, 7 assists is great. Shout out to that. But 5 points coming from your point guard against South Carolina, I'm gonna tell you right now, that's recipe for a blowout. That's recipe for a blowout. Rory Harmon today, she better hit 10 or more. 10 or more and 8 plus or more with the assists. Okay. She's got to have a near triple double today. 7, 8, and 6. She got to be all over the place today. She got to also get about 2 or 3 steals today. She has to be exceptional. It doesn't mean that she need to score 20 points, but it does mean she need to get 10 plus, 7 plus rebound. 7 plus assists, 4, 5 plus rebounds, 2, 3 plus steals. You know what I'm saying? Some deflections. I can even see her getting a block or 2 off today, right? On one of their guards. Okay, so I think tonight's game with Texas and what they can do, it should be interesting. But I'm gonna tell y'all, I got South Carolina. I got South Carolina. Um, I think yesterday's matchup with Texas and Ole Miss, it showed some flaws with Texas. Again, Ole Miss was in this game pretty well in the first half. Yeah, you down 8 in the first quarter. You lost the scoring battle again in the second quarter by 4. Okay, so you down 12 going into half, but you down 12 going into half. And what they did to them defensively in the third quarter, on top of them just picking up their offense and just taking better shots, right? And then converting. Ole Miss really missed a lot of easy Johns in the first half. I said, bro, what are we doing? What are we doing? If Texas dominate the boards like they did back in November with Odeker, while playing good defense, if Booker can show she's the superstar we project her to be today, then they will hoist it. I never did like the word hoist. I'm just gonna say hoist and moist. I just want to throw both of them words in the trash forever. That being said, I think you're right. The key to this game again is rebounds and this Booker. The X factor to me all the time is always going to be with Texas is going to be Roy Harmon. Her level of intensity, her level of aggressiveness, her level of wanting to be on an impact or provide an impact offensively and not just with her pass. She has to be able to contribute and give some relief to Madison. She know what she gonna have to do. Now is Madison gonna do it? That's the question mark. But Madison know that, okay, baby, you just showed us 31 and 11 because you ain't want to get upset by Ole Miss. Well, I'm gonna need you to show me, you know what I'm saying, 28 and 10, because you need to remind the people that Texas really are those Garleys. So that's the energy that we need to see from Madison Booker. Are we? Big question mark. But Rory is the question mark, underline, bold, italicized. For real, she's it for me. Because Rory, again, let's look at what she has been doing this conference. And it obviously hasn't been a lot of games. It's only been, 2 games. Let's see, last 2 games. So you got Alabama. She gave you 8 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals. I like 3 steals. 4 assists, flip that. Give me 7 assists like you did today. 3 assists. Okay, I'll take the 2 rebounds, but these points need to be 10, 12 points, somewhere around there. You know why? Because Raven found her shot. Okay, Raven found her shot. Tessa always had her shot. So their guards is coming. Okay, then what? Maybe Okot on the 3-2. Now Joyce got so much room, more room in the mid range. And now you leave maybe that third off guard, your cutter. You get in more. Man, stop. All right, Rory, you better tighten up offensively today. Okay, so efficiency is key. And again, even if you are attacking the basket, tr- try to get to the line. Even if the shot not falling, attack the basket and try to get to the line. You feel me? And Rory excels at that. But when she gets in her head, and especially in these high pressured moments, her energy kind of like wavers a little bit. So she got to provide that help for Madison Booker today, man. Coach Yo need to play Denham a whole lot more. Peterson, Powell need to be glued to the bench. Not glued to the bench is crazy. Yeah, I mean, that it just wasn't. What they be doing, bro? What they be doing? I don't know what Peterson been doing. She played 15 minutes, had 2 points, 1 for 10, bro. Well, I don't know if she was trying to be a carpenter yesterday or a bricklayer, but that's exactly what she definitely could have just submitted an application to Indeed if she wanted to be a bricklayer. You don't pull up to the semis and decide that you want to change professions. Okay, that's not okay. Lattimore, she at least she did something off the bench. She was 3 for 9. Like her efficiency waivers, it's up and down, it's up and down, up and down. But at least she was aggressive. Yeah. Oh, Miss same old, right? Same old. One trick pony. And so if McMahon ain't dropping 39 points, 40 points, what they gonna do? What they gonna do? Right now, Louisville got the lead on Duke in the third quarter, right around 3 minutes in the third quarter. So we gonna see Duke trying to make a comeback, So it's gonna be interesting. Let's take a look at South Carolina. Let's take a look at South Carolina versus LSU. South Carolina versus LSU, because South Carolina versus LSU, man, it had me sweating, had me glitching, bro. First quarter at 17-21. Great game all the way around though. The energy, like the drama, the intensity, the suspense, just all the way around was a great game. 17-21 first quarter. LSU went on really for Wiley went on, a blender in the second quarter, right? 23-15. Then is again with this funny how these quarters, when you look at it, the box score quarter by quarter, how these quarters can look absolutely identical. The second quarter went to LSU 23-15. The third quarter went to South Carolina 23-14. That's the same damn thing, for real. Which made for popcorn cinema in that fourth quarter, where it seemed like everybody in the world, in the country, who was watching this game was on the edge of their seat. You feel me? So what a great game from Texas and South Carolina. South Carolina just proved that they had too much. They just had too much. They had too much. You feel me? Let's look at this box score, because we know a little bit about what Raven did. Okay, we know she turned up, but let's look at the rest of the contribution on the team. Tanaya Latson, that's a name that didn't get mentioned a lot from yesterday's game, but she had 19 points, a quiet 19, 6 for 13 from the field. Okay, 1 rebound, 1 assist. And yeah, she was just all over the court, man. Deflections. I liked her rotations on defense, her ability to switch and be able to check all the guards on the opposing team. Quick. She was on for Wiley, even though for a lot Wiley was able to get off. For Wiley is just that talented. But there are moments when Latson was on for Wiley where she couldn't get around her, didn't have nowhere to go. You feel me? Let me get to this comment. Texas not winning the championship unless they can hit 5+ threes a game. From the Elite Eight and on, defenses will be too good in the paint to over rely on paint points. Yeah, they definitely got to be able to stretch the defense. And then, you know what I'm saying? Like, you think that when South Carolina is shooting well from three, they might make 6 to 8 threes. If you can reduce South Carolina's efficiency from three, let's say you take that 6 to 8 threes to 4 to 6 threes, right? So you prevent them from making 3 less threes a game. That being said, from Texas standpoint, you do what you need to do defensively. Offensively, though, you can make up for not shooting well on the 3-point line if you defend your 3-point line, you prevent them from shooting a high clip, And then B, you're still converting in 3-point possessions with the mid-range. And this is where you got to start to elevate your offensive IQ and be able to not just foul bait, but really read the defense and take what they're giving you, right? And take their how they're trying to defend you. There's always a defender is always going to show you a weak point in their stance and where their hands are. Nothing is never going to be perfect, right? So even like a boxer, there's always going to be a little slither of an opening where you can get your straight through, get your jab through. You feel me? Same thing with defense. Whether the offense is reading that you're flat footed, whether your body is shifted 30 degrees too much to the right. Oh, you giving me my right? No, I'm not giving you your right. But based on where your feet are, how your toes are angled, you giving me my right. You feel me? So when you're reading all these things and calculating all these things, you can really create a shooting foul, not by baiting, just by using what you're giving me, stopping and popping, creating a little contact, going up, right? It's something that Raven Johnson does well. Create a little contact, eat the contact, go straight up, go through it. Joyce Edwards, go through the contact, right? So if Texas can eat the contact, go through the contact, and convert at a high level from the mid range, and prevent South Carolina from lighting up the place from three. You can't have Raven shooting 60% from the three. You can't have Tessa, you know what I'm saying, making 4 or 5 threes. It's not gonna look good for you. So you got to do both. You got to do both defensively and offensively. Now, can Texas do it? Can Texas do it? This game is your typical matchup with both squads. LSU looked good in the first half, but South Carolina always find a way against LSU. LSU is not mature or cerebral enough to beat South Carolina. Exactly. Speaking of, let's look at what LSU did, or maybe what they didn't do. Okay. Zakiya Johnson, she was there, maybe, barely. I don't know. She only played 7 minutes. I don't remember even seeing her on the court, but she had 3 rebounds. Really no contribution. Joyner, 9 points. Okay, 29 minutes, 9 points. She ain't the biggest threat on the offensive side, but she was down there banging on the glass. She got you 11 rebounds in 1 block. I'll take that. Give me that. Give me that. Give me that. Now, Rashard, boy, now we know what Full Wiley did. We're gonna talk about her in a minute. But Rashard, from the starters, there were moments in the game where if she didn't make that shot, South Carolina was about to take off. She made key shots, those swing threes, where South Carolina has played defense well and is executing everywhere, and you made that one additional pass and found that outlet, and Rashard was there drilling those shots. She was 7 for 12 from the field, but more importantly, she was 3 for 6 from the 3-point line and gave you 5 rebounds and 4 assists. Okay, I felt like she was the player of the game yesterday for them. Not just from the points, because Full Wiley scored a lot of points, but I feel like Rashard's points prevented bad things from happening. Raven is an absolute winner, absolutely, and I think Raven's impact offensively, it sparked something in some of these guards over here. Rashard was turned up. For Wiley was personally challenged. Like, okay, you cooking, I'm cooking too. We cooking, baby. We both cooking. Okay? If you can't take the heat, get out the kitchen. For Wiley was in there with her chef coat on. Okay? Rashard said, hold on, I got the hat. Hold on, scoot over. Okay? Michaela came in there. She ran the tray. She said, I got an order on ... They want the scallops or whatnot. So it was 3 people in the kitchen, but nobody else showed up to cook yesterday for LSU. Okay, and that's been the biggest glaring issue with LSU, is just they're inconsistent. It just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Where's Full Wiley? I told y'all there's going to be a lot of smoke in the city moving forward, but especially when it comes to LSU facing South Carolina, because of the comments that Full Wiley's, not Full Wiley's, Flaujae's mom, Mama Flaujae, because of the comments that she made related to South Carolina, in hopes of bigging up her daughter. Okay, and that's what's up. You're supposed to big up your daughter. You're supposed to celebrate her. You should feel that your daughter is the whip. You should feel that your daughter is the best thing since sliced bread. Absolutely, every good parent does. Okay, but the reality of it is some comments you keep to yourself, and you definitely don't have them on your social media being emotional and being dramatic. That being said, we knew that Flaw J, every time she step out on court, okay, and face South Carolina, and by this being her last time in a South Carolina game, to try to become the SEC champion, this is the last opportunity for you, sweetheart. You're a senior, and y'all know how I feel about moments. Y'all know how I feel about understanding the assignment. Y'all absolutely know how I feel about when this is an opportunity for you to make a statement. Make it, right? Because you don't have another opportunity. You might see them in March Madness, but just like this game, you're not going to be favored. You're not going to be favored in that game, because there have been too many times when LSU have had to show and prove on the biggest stages in the biggest moments, and they didn't. Right? And yeah, they've had moments where they did win big games, but this was the biggest game of the year for them. Okay, this semifinals, this rematch with South Carolina was the biggest game for LSU, and especially the biggest game for Flaw J. And she walked out of that game 6 points, 1 for 8, perfect from the free throw line. So at least she redeemed herself there. I thought it was going to be bad news bears for the rest of her career when it came to free throws, but at least she did find the net on the free throw tip. So that's one good thing. Okay, but everything else, 1 for 8. Okay, five assists. Okay, that's cool. 3 turnovers, man. No steals, no block, no impact defensively. Right, only 2 boards. Rebounds count for defense as well. So you weren't all over the place defense wise. You were taken out of the game offensively. Um, and you turned the ball over. So really, since you won in life, and you won, you know, you beat the whole South Carolina team the last game, you couldn't do that again. And again, that's the difference between people and people. You got to be consistent. Okay, you have to be consistent, and it's dope when you can do that against Alabama, or whatever, A&M or whoever. But South Carolina, that's the best team in the SEC, and it's the best team in the SEC for a reason. Is because that doesn't matter who they playing, they can make sure that they go out there and do what they need to do to get that dub. Dawn drew up some incredible side out plays, man. That last play at the end of the game with Okot getting the ball, and then she just delayed a little bit and kind of held the ball, ran the clock out a little bit, then just spun, took that little dribble, that little left hand layup, man. It was, you know what I mean? But that's Dawn for you. You know what I mean? It just is what it is. And we know when it comes to Dawn and Kim, it's just a different level of execution. It's a different level of execution. The pick and roll and figure it out offense does not work. Kim has to create an actual offense. They don't have a game changing big, and that hurts LSU. Absolutely. They have bigs that have high, energetic moments throughout the game. Big block, you know what I mean? Big and one, right? Knox is good for a big and one, or a big block, or a really big rebound, over 2 people, or those moments in the game. Yeah, and those matter. I don't want to discredit those. But when they are few and far in between, when they don't, when those moments don't make you a threat now, and now we don't have to really worry about you when we're scheming up. See, if your name is not mentioned in the film room, hey yo, her, make sure you gotta be sure you, if you're not a part of that conversation, you know what I'm saying, you might do well, to a certain extent, but we're not worried about you. And whatever you do is extra. So Kim has always been flawed when it comes to, and exposed. Kim Mulkey has always been exposed when it comes to coaching and her lack of offensive execution, especially when she's standing next to Dawn. It's just a clear night and day difference between Kim and Dawn. It's clear. You feel me? So, sidebar, UCLA and Iowa is on right now too on CBS. That UCLA is winning 15-5, and Duke is on ESPN right now. Duke is up by 2 on Louisville, 41. I'm sorry, 51-49, 51-49. Duke, 6.5 minutes left. Look though, I I I was impressed with South Carolina overall, not just with Raven. Why do I keep want to say Raven Simone? Obviously I know why, but that's really ghetto. Not with just Raven Johnson, because I ain't never did that before this episode, which is really wild. Not just with Raven Johnson, with her 22 points. Okay, 4 big threes, 3 rebounds, 8 assists, one turn. I'm about to throw my hat. One turnover. One. You feel me? Again, I give you up to 3 on a collegiate level if the other stat lines are on the plus side, not the negative side. So, double digit points, 7+ rebounds, okay, a steal, 2 blocks, something like that. I think Knox and Z are forwards. Their bigs are Maya Kate. That's an underwhelming group. I mean, you can put them all together. Everybody they got is not enough. And it would have never been enough for South Carolina because they're big, right? Not only do they have length, but they have strength, right? So for whatever Okot might not be strength-wise, Joyce is. For whatever Joyce might not be length-wise, Okot is, right? And then they have similar stature coming in off the bench. So it just makes it difficult when you can't match up lengthwise, and you definitely can't match up strength-wise. It makes it difficult when you are LSU. Now Texas, I think, gonna have the same problem for real. They ain't got enough bigs. They just don't have enough. They have the one starter. You feel me? But if she get in foul trouble, good luck. And I think she gonna get in foul trouble because I don't think she can keep up with Okot. We know she not gonna be checking Edwards. There are gonna be moments where she would be, but it's not gonna be enough. If you can't play 20+ minutes at the 5, then you aren't a big to me. Exactly. See, that's why I say it's passing through. He got the stats. He got the numbers. He's a numbers guy. I like that too. Because I'm the same way. Like if you down there and you look like you out there getting abused and you can't read, you know what I'm saying? You can't help defensively. You don't know how to position yourself for rebounding. You're not a big. You just, a decent sized body. A decent sized body. I'm over here trying to got my head on a swivel watching the score. Louisville is now up 53-51. My goodness, things are changing. Things are happening fast. 53-51 Louisville. So I think today's game is going to be very interesting. Right after this Louisville Duke game is going to be the South Carolina Texas game right after Louisville Duke. Yeah, hold on. So let me pull this Louisville Duke score up real quick, because this is kind of heating up. You heard? All right. So it's on timeout right now. So we got it pulled up. Actually, and it's also actually another tough game on right now between UConn and Creighton. UConn and Creighton. That game, no team is safe. Can go either way too. Obviously, I'm capped because ain't no way it can go either way. You already know that UConn gonna win that by a long mile. Right now, UConn is winning 22-4 on Creighton. You know what I mean? Regular stuff there. Regular stuff. Let's look and see the game highlights here on the court, who the players are. Okay, Toby Fournier. Oh, that's wild. That's interesting. Toby only has 5 points. I've been watching this game. Just kind of looking at it through the stats. So I ain't been really peeping the game for real, for real. But Toby has had a great conference outing or appearance thus far. Today just looked like it might not be her night. She's 1 for 5 from the field, or Louisville took her out the game, one of the two. But obviously this is a low scoring game, 51-53. Geez. Whew. Okay. Thomas had a good game yesterday as well. Today she's backing it up. She's 4 for 6 from the field, 4 rebounds. Ashlyn Jackson, 10 points, 3 for 7 from the field, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Mare, another senior guard, her and Ashlyn Jackson leading this team. Mare has 17 points, 5 for 11 from the field, 10 rebounds. Shout out to her, another double double, 3 assists. And then Nelson had a decent game yesterday too. One thing about Duke is they always play with good energy. So that's interesting to see. Nelson has 6 points, 2 for 7 for the field, 1 rebound, 1 assist. Now on the Louisville side, you know what I'm saying, they've been balling, especially Miss Berry here, Imari Berry, she been balling. Yesterday she had a big game. Today she's backing it up. She got 17 points, 7 for 2 from the field, 2 rebounds. Randolph, 9 points, 3 for 6 from the field, 9 rebounds, 6 assists. Talk about all over the place. Ziegler, 7 points, 3 for 6, 4 rebounds. And Scott ain't doing nothing. She decided to change her position to a bricklayer too. So there's that. Who do you think Dawn is putting on Booker? Great question. Let's go back over there. Let's go back over there to South Carolina. Let's go back to South Carolina. So here we go. Great question. Who do I think Dawn is gonna put on Booker? Who do I think Dawn is gonna put on Booker? Okay, so let's look at the starting lineup. So we're gonna have Raven at the 1. Okay, Tanaya Lasson at the 2, and then Tessa Johnson at the 3. Then you're gonna have Joyce Edwards and Okot. Let's look at Texas. They're gonna have Carlton, Cunningham. I'm sorry, no, they're gonna have, hold on, Harmon, Jordan Lee, Booker, Cunningham, and Odeker. Yeah, that's their starting lineup. I believe that's their starting lineup right there. Or not Cunningham, Judd. Cunningham coming off the bench. That being said, I think they gonna start probably Tessa on Booker, and I think it. I think South Carolina might do a little bit of everything. I think they might switch off on everything. They either might start Tessa on Booker, or might even surprise you and put Raven on Booker. But I think taking turns between Tessa, Raven, and Tanaya Latson, even though Booker has the height advantage, I don't think she has the aggressiveness advantage over any of them, to be honest. So I think they're gonna take some turns with guards checking Booker. I also think we're gonna see Joyce Edwards on Booker. So it really depends. This is also a time where Dawn probably gonna pull a couple things out of her bag, because this is the SEC finals, right? And both of these teams know each other well. So I think it could get very interesting as far as to see her rotations. I don't think she's gonna change much rotation wise, but I do think she's gonna change how she execute switches, how she execute rotations on the court defensively. Duke got to have a lot of turnovers. The field goal assist seem low. Let's go back to that too. What up, Miss D? Welcome back. And again, welcome back, Kiera. Welcome back to Her Core, Her Rules. Y'all make sure when y'all pulling up, man, hit that like, hit that subscribe, man. The road to 500 subs is still on. So hit that subscribe, man, and help us get there. What up, chat? Can Louisville hang on? 55 to 53. 55 to 53. It's going to be by committee, like you said, no Bree Hall. Exactly. And I think that's the one thing that was it goes overlooked or understated is that Bree Hall was such a great defender 1-on-1, especially with when you're talking about people who have length and post up ability. Bree Hall was definitely that girl. So definitely missed, man. Definitely missed Bree Hall, man. Shout out to her. Shout out to her. Hopefully she get a nice landing spot with the when this new CBA, whenever that get, you know, tied in. Hopefully she gets something that's you know, she can stay and grow. So we got Louisville 55 to 53. We got UCLA putting the belt to the A on Iowa 26 to 7. UConn doing the same thing to Creighton 29 and 9. And shout out to the MAC championship. Shout out to the MAC championship. Fairfield ranked number 25. They got into the top 25 the very last week. Fairfield 8 to 10 on Merrimack. So Merrimack is looking for an upset against Fairfield, a top AP 25 team. You feel me? So we can't wait. We can't wait for this game, man. Y'all let me know in the chat who y'all got tonight, who y'all got tonight. South Carolina might go with the matchup zone. See, that's what I'm thinking. Now let's talk about strategy, because y'all know over here on Her Core, Her Rules, it's all about going higher perspective, right? So I don't just host this show. I set the tone, set the energy for the show, and in the chat, we keep this energy going collectively, right? And so let's talk about strategies for South Carolina, especially if Texas is proven to not be able to execute and hit the deep ball. If that happens, then I think exactly what Passing Through Sports Talk Media said is that we're going to see a lot of zone. I think we're going to see a lot of zone. I think we're going to see a lot of we're in zone coverage and we're running this man to the neck, running this person, whoever this person with the ball is or whatever this cutter is, running this person to the next person in the zone defender, right? So we're staying in this zone, but the zone is really flexible. So if you see this person getting beat, just stay with them. Just stay with them. You feel me? Don't get up off of them because we in the zone. Nah, just ride them and then play your rotations. Play your rotations. So I think we're gonna see that, especially if Texas don't start hitting the jumpers early. The worst thing that can happen for Texas is them miss open shots early, because that's just gonna Dawn is gonna see blood in the water, blood in the water. Tighten up. Now we press them. Now we gonna press them full court. Now we gonna make it even harder for them to get into their sets. Even harder for them to see open spots on the court. So if Dawn see blood in the water early, oh, they ain't hitting their shots, bet we gonna pull out this full court press on y'all. Now what? Now we gonna make Madison Booker have to become a ball handler full court with Roy Harmon before Madison Booker getting her sweet spot and start to try to get in that mid range and hit those J's, right? So she gonna have to do what she did yesterday for sure. For sure. Can she do it? Can she do it? What up? Welcome back, Byron Keith. Welcome back. Welcome back. We got South Carolina. I got South Carolina tonight too. Right now, Duke is down by 4 with 58 seconds left in the ACC finals championship game, man. So it looked like Louisville, if they can just hold strong, if don't nothing crazy happen, it looked like Louisville will be cutting down those ACC nets. And although I'm disappointed, my Virginia Tech Hokies did not do what I wanted them to do against North Carolina. I do think Louisville all season long has displayed that they have been the better team. And so I think it makes sense that if they do go ahead and win this game, what it looks like they're on a trajectory to do so, that they should be the team. They should be the team to win today. So Early congratulations to Louisville, man. It's been real. It's been a good tournament for the ACC. Again, this whole game, John, though, for real. Let's keep it a bean. It's been a bunch of blowouts, all through the conferences. Again, when we look at these scores, you got UCLA, another blowout, UConn a blowout. UCLA been blowing out everybody. South Carolina blew out Kentucky. Texas had a blowout. You know what I mean? Had a good victory against Ole Miss yesterday. So we've seen the best teams really look like the best teams all conference, all conference tournament. You know what I mean? But I feel like by the end of today's game, especially depending on how this game shows up and shows out. By the end of today's game, I think we'll have a little bit more clarity about who is the most dangerous SEC team as it relates to March Madness. I think the overwhelming consensus has been South Carolina is the most dangerous team when we talk in March Madness, when we talk in Final Four, right? And that's assuming everybody gonna get there because we know March ain't no team safe, right? Yeah, we know we can agree on that. However, this game means a lot, not just for the SEC, but for the entire conference. I mean, the entire tournament in general. On top of that, y'all, now here's the real tea. Here's the real tea. Here's the real tea. Y'all know we got March 14th. March 14th is what? It's a pivotal date. It's a pivotal date. And so March 14th, we got the final top 16 reveal. So it looks like even if, let's say, Texas loses this game today against South Carolina, would y'all agree that Texas is still the fourth top one seed because Louisville now look, Vanderbilt just looked crazy yesterday. You feel me? So would y'all agree that UConn is one, UCLA is two? If South Carolina beat Texas, South Carolina is three. Lock that in. And Texas is probably still fourth. Unless y'all saying that if they're not fourth, then that means LSU then took the jump to become a number one team. What y'all think? Let me know early in the chat. Let me know in the chat. If Texas lose this game, will they still be a number one seed? Dugalich for UCLA is an underrated beast. Her physicality down low defense is giving Iowa fits. We know she can stretch the floor too. Exactly. Exactly. The thing of the I mean, when you have bigs that are multi-dimensional bigs that can again not can just bang in the post and really apply pressure in the post, but that can also stretch the floor, that's what South Carolina does well. That's what South Carolina does well, and that's what had the world going crazy about Ocott because it's like, damn, she already dominating the paint, right? She already longer than everybody, right? She already got the footwork, she already got the little hooks, she already got a couple little, she got some little things down there already in the paint. But then she's stepping out. Same thing with UCLA. All they bigs can step out, right? Maybe not stretch all the way to the 3-point line, but they can get you the mid range. So again, when you got bigs that can do block work and then go out to high post work, man. All right, bet. So here's the question right now. If Texas loses today to South Carolina, are they still a number one seed? Ms. D said if they lose, they should still get the number one seed. I would agree. The top four teams remain the same. Texas stay at number one seed since both LSU and Vandy lost. Thank you. Thank you, Keontae. Matter of fact, welcome back. This is one of my stat gurus right over here on Her Core, Her Rules, man. Keontae always got one of the top stat games, top stat guy right here, and knowledge base over here on Her Core, Her Rules. So always appreciate it when you come in with the stats like this. Exactly. Just based on the facts, based on both LSU and Vanderbilt losing, they both get knocked out for being potential number one seed threats. Those other teams that had the chance to dethrone Texas as a number one seed both lost. So Texas already made it. Win, lose, or draw tonight. Shout out to Keontae. Welcome back to Her Core, Her Rules. Welcome back to the chat. So that being said, I think the conversation now is the biggest question is Will a third seed sneak up to the second seed? Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Will a third seed, can a third seed sneak up to a second seed and become a second seed? Y'all let me know. Y'all might have more information on what the committee can and can't do at this stage, is based on win loss columns, and based on who has the tie break and all this. I don't know if one of these teams on the third seed, just by default aren't even eligible for a second seed team just by default. However, Louisville is losing this game. It's crazy. What the hell he just happened? What the y'all? Louisville was just up by 4. Yeah, let me rehydrate. Hold on. Y'all, Louisville was just up by 4 of them things. 4 of them things. Now, Louisville down by 1. Where did that 5-point swing come from, y'all? Where did it come from? And the thing about it is, I got the game up right here, but when you ain't listening to the game, you ain't really that tapped in. Let me see what's going on in this game. Hold on. No, because it's crazy. I was just saying that Louisville has been the better team this season. They started off better. Yeah, they had some skids. But overall, I feel like they've been the better team. They can't hold a lead. They might face LSU in tournament. Want to see them. Oh, that'll be good. Louisville against LSU. I like that. I like that. See, Louisville. Okay, now Louisville. This game back and forth. Shoot. Louisville up in this game right now. 23 seconds left. 59-58. 59-58. This game is going back and forth. This is through the wire. This is one of those games. Okay? This is one of those games for sure. But look though, when you're looking at a finals matchup, a championship matchup, especially when you talking about a championship, conference game, it better be to the wire. You want to see single digit victories. Duke can get a second seed with the win. They're a committee favorite. If TCU beats West Virginia in a dominating fashion, they can rise to a number 2 seed as well. That's exactly the information that I was looking for. Shout out to you passing through Sports Talk Media. Exactly. I'm so scared to not even look at the game because every time I turn my eyes from it, something else happened. So what passing is saying here is this. With the win here, Duke is currently a 3 seed. They can become a 2 seed, okay? Knocking Vanderbilt out, right? Or down. Then if TCU beats West Virginia, they can become a 2 seed, okay? So it's going to be very interesting to see how this committee thing goes on March 15th. We've been seeing, if y'all been watching the games, like the ticker at the bottom, it might say such and such who's a part of the committee has these are his votes, and this is what he or she got going on, and that's all cool and all that. But I need to know on the day of. I don't need the speculations. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't trying to get my hopes up because I'm looking at one person's opinions about something that ain't even been decided upon yet. That being said, yo, again, Louisville is back down. It was just back up. It was just up by 1. Duke scored. So it was 58. Look, and now Louisville up again, Lord. This one of those. Louisville coach can draw up some late game plays. His clipboard game is elite. His clipboard, and it's been elite for a while too. This ain't just a new. This ain't just a new asset that has been recently unlocked. It's been like that for a minute. That's why I love watching Louisville, especially in late games, where sometimes they'll give up points defensively, but usually they one of the most dangerous teams when it comes to scoring and executing late game plays I've ever seen outside of Gamecocks. Okay, it's out. Shout out to Dawn. Shout out to Dawn. In Dawn we trust. Yeah. Okay. Okay. 60 to 58. 60 to 58. Louisville with the final 13 seconds, man. This game is going down to the wire until the fat lady truly sings 0-0-0. You feel me? Oh boy. Oh boy. Scramble at the end. Scramble at the end. Okay. Barry with a big closeout rebound. Barry with a big closeout rebound. And a foul. Now she just got to convert one more free throw. Toby Fournier fouled out. Yeah. Yeah. That explains those 5 points she got. She didn't. Did she spend a lot of time in foul trouble today? I'm trying to pull these stats back up on my. This thing is wild. The ESPN app is glitching like a mug right now. Game is 60. Game time 60-60 is crazy. 4 seconds left is crazy. 4 seconds left is crazy. Delaney Thomas made that layup to tie up the game, man. Louisville called a timeout. Louisville right now is on timeout. 4 seconds left. Kara Lawson, it's your time, baby. Kara Lawson, it's your time. You gonna force a timeout? You gonna force a timeout? You know what I'm saying? We just talked about the clipboard magic from Louisville. We just talked about the clipboard magic from Louisville. So what we doing? What we doing? What we doing? We forcing the OT or what, y'all? Is the ACC we forcing the OT or what, y'all? I'm excited. This is what we need. This is what we talking about. This is conference play. This is championship basketball. Nothing easy. Everything earned. You want it, take it. Win it. Earn it. Tie 60-60. 0.47 seconds left, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. This game is crazy. This game is crazy. Y'all couldn't have told me. Well, I guess because I guess Duke and North Carolina kind of went down like this too. Roberts misses the 29-foot 3-pointer attempt to try to win this game at the end. We going to OT, baby. We going to OT. Oh Lord, we going to OT, y'all. Boy, I tell y'all. Boy, I tell y'all. So Louisville and Duke goes to overtime again. No team is safe. So who y'all got now? Who y'all got now? Because whatever predictions you had going into the game don't matter. Whatever predictions you had going into this game does not matter because now this is a new game and we are in overtime. So again, no team is safe. Who y'all got in overtime? Duke versus Louisville. Who's taking home this ACC championship today? I don't know. It's been an interesting game so far. And right now, based on what Duke has done to even force this overtime and stay in this game, I think Duke. I was about to say Dewey. I think Deweyville. I think Duke. I think Duke might pull this one out. Miss D said, I don't know. They beat South Carolina. So she got Louisville. They almost beat South Carolina. So she got Louisville. So Texas versus South Carolina will tip at 3:09. Um, it's after 3:09. What they talking about? Where that game at? I guess it's just gonna come right on after this game. We got West Virginia and TCU at 5 o'clock. Texas, South Carolina after this one. Right now, we also got on Fox. On Fox, let me go to the scores. Pull these scores on a little bit. Division One. On Fox, we also got some more games as well. Uh, oh, that's the Dusty Man. We don't care about them. Overtime for Duke. Overtime for Duke. Who y'all got? What's going on with the UCLA? UCLA and Iowa's halftime 42-20. Cook show right there. UConn about to be halftime as well. Again, nothing to really broadcast here. 54-22. Just for shits and giggles. Let me see what the box score is. Let me just see what the box score is for the Huskies are going into halftime. Sarah Strong, 17 points, almost perfect from the field, 7 for 8 from three. Perfect from the 3-point line, man. 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 5 steals, 2 blocks. What are we doing here, folks? Come on. KK Arnold, 7 for 7 from the field. Perfect from the field. Everybody perfect from the field. Shay, perfect from the field. Fudd, 4 for 5 from the field. Perfect from 3. This team is shooting 88% from the 3. UConn shooting 88% from the 3-point line today. Good night. There's nothing there's nothing here to see, folks. there's nothing here to see, folks. What are we talking about? I got Louisville. Toby Fournier will be missed. Ah, damn, she did foul out. Oh, that's key. That's key. She definitely will be missed rebounding wise. Rebounding wise. Rebounding wise. Hold on. Get back to the game right here. All right. So we got Jordan Wood with the rebound. Jordan Wood with the rebound. Duke got the high. Duke got the high. 64-63. Oh my goodness! Again, this game can go either way. This game can go either way. Both teams want it. Who wants it more is the question. Who wants it more? Again, no team is safe. No team is safe. As comfortable as Louisville has looked at moments in this game, Duke has done the same thing on their end. That being said, you know what I mean. This overtime is a flip of the coin. It's a flip of the coin. You know what I mean. Don't even matter who your fave is. Anybody can get clipped. George Mason versus Rhode Island should be a good game per passing through. And you know what? You're going to have to let me know what it is because I ain't watched neither one of them play this year, respectfully. Foul on Ziegler. I can't believe that this game is like this. I can't believe that this game is like this. All right, South Carolina is now on ESPN News, so I'm going to get my ticker over on there. South Carolina. That game is on ESPN News, and I guess after this game is concluded, they're gonna switch on over. They're gonna switch on over. So let me get my John up here. Welcome back to Her Court, Her Rules. Pharaoh should be a great game. Should be a great game. South Carolina and Texas. SEC rematch. SEC rematch. All right, so let me get that John up on here. Oh, Texas beating South Carolina 10-0 already out the gate. Yeah, I was gonna do a live stream watch and chill um this game too, but I need to watch this game. They need to call a timeout. My boy said, I'm watching the rest of this Louisville game. I need to see what they made of. Here's the tea, y'all. Here's the tea, y'all. Yesterday when I was doing the graphic design, the thumbnail for No Team is Safe, Ole Miss and LSU, I went on ahead and did the thumbnail for today, right? Pointed the arrow at South Carolina because again, No Team is Safe, not even my favorite team. I hope I was not manifesting for my team to lose today. And if y'all not familiar with what I'm referring to, I'm talking about this graphic here, this little arrow. I don't want my team South Carolina to lose today. I have South Carolina in this team, but again, right now, it ain't looking good for my squad. We starting off a little anxious. Okay, it's 14-0 right now. It's 14-0 for South Carolina right now, and it's proven again that the title matters. No team is safe. No team is safe. And they wore the jerk. Bro, they got the jerk. These the jerseys they wearing right now. I didn't even know that when I did the graphic yesterday. They need a timeout. They need a timeout. I'm with you. Once a team go 8-0, call that timeout. You don't let them get 14, Dawn. Oh my jeez. Texas killing the Gamecocks right now. You don't let them get 14, dog, before you call the timeout. They get 8, you blow the whistle. Y'all know the song, blow the whistle, boo, boo, blow the whistle. Y'all know the song. Dawn forgot the song. That's what it is. Dawn forgot the song, blow the whistle, and then she forgot that she can actually do that. Damn, Dawn. Damn. This is crazy. Y'all, man. Let me look at this box, though. Carlton on the board, 4 points. Cunningham on the board, 2 points. Booker on the board, 4 points. You know what I'm saying? This team started off hot, perfect from the field. 6 for 6 from the field. Can't win like that. They're gonna cool off though, so I'm not worried about it. You do expect a team that is the in my opinion will be the underdog in this game. You do expect them to start off hot, start off with some energy. Okay, but do you do expect this to kind of tailor off as this quarter continues? Okay. South Carolina, I mean, we got one shot up. We are turning the ball over. So when you turn the ball over, you give them more possessions. Really, this should be maybe a 6.60 game, 8-0 game, but you got the turnovers that's giving them more possessions. And when a team get additional possessions, come on, bro. You just make it easier. You just make it easier. Where the game cast at? Here we go. Let's look at the team by team comparison. There we go. Look at the team by team comparison right here. Obviously, they're perfect for the field. Texas is shooting perfect from the field, 7-0. 7 for 7, I'm sorry. Okay, not even any threes taken. And that's what we were talking about when we were talking about predictions in this game. It's not necessarily that Texas need to shoot and make a lot of threes. They need to prevent South Carolina from getting the easy threes, and Texas need to convert from a high clip from the mid range. They have to execute from the mid range. It's a lot of basketball game left, and a lot of game. And basketball is a game of runs. Absolutely. Texas is playing like they don't want to be the fourth number one seed to avoid UConn in the Final Four. If they beat South Carolina, they can make a case to bump South Carolina down one spot. Oh, wow. So this can get real interesting. Jeez Louise. Shout out to that comment. That one. Appreciate you, bro. It's 40 minutes in the game for a reason. Exactly. Exactly. And we saw Texas do this before. Start off super hot, everything clicking, and then once they get hit with a counter run, they fold, right? And this is not to discredit them, but I do think that this game is going to be a lot closer in the fourth game than where it started out in the first quarter. That's just a testament to both teams, their resilience, their game plan, and that neither one of these teams are expected to come in and blow out the other team. Period. You know what I mean? So I expect, a single point victory for either team, but specifically for my Gamecocks. You just have to win by one, no matter how bad or how ugly it is. Win by one. That's it. That's it. That's the goal. Win by one. Hook them Booker. Shout out to you. Welcome back to Her Core, Her Rules. Maddie Booker is ready. Is ready. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. But it looked like, here's the thing though, not just Madison Booker. It looks like they're all coming into this game locked in and focused on the goal. Okay, focus on the goal. The goal is to get this dub. The goal is to get this dub. All right. So the thing about South Carolina is this though. The easier buckets, you know what I'm saying? Okai just missed a 10-foot jumper. You know, you gotta convert. You gotta convert in the mid range. You gotta convert in the mid range. So South Carolina shoot 1 for 5. That ain't gonna cut it. That ain't gonna cut it. But at least Medina is on the glass. Tessa out here throwing them shoes back and whatnot. Nah, let her pick up her own shoe. If Texas beats South Carolina twice in a season, including the SEC championship game, committee can make a case for South Carolina over them. You mean Texas over South Carolina? Because if Texas beats South Carolina twice this year, including the SEC game, like you just detailed or spelled out, then it seems like it would be more logical that the committee say Texas is a number one seed over South Carolina. I mean, the impact of this game is like limitless. It can go so many ways. You feel me? Well, really only two ways. Is it's either you in or you out as far as the number one seed. But a lot is weighted on this game, especially the performance, the individual performance of the teams. So if neither one of these teams again is prepared for or desires a blowout. So they got to show up. The first quarter, it's looking bad. It's 16-3 right now. It's 16-3 right now. But this is not a typical South Carolina start. So let's just see how it shake out. Again, it's a lot of game left. It's 40 minutes for a reason. McDaniel in the game with a layup. Shout out to her. We need some more points, need some more contribution. And you know what? The one thing that disappoints me a little bit about South Carolina sometimes is that I feel like there's just not a strong enough focus and intention on getting Joyce involved early in the game, like consistently. Like go to her and then go to her and then put her in different spots, but continue to go to her, because I think the quicker Joyce can get off and get involved in the offense. Okay, so she got to make the shots too. The quicker she can get off and get involved in this offense. Thank you, appreciate that update. Duke won. Duke won that game. Crazy. Duke won that game. Crazy Duke going. And see, I had Duke, but I was like, damn, Toby did foul out. But I did take Duke though, because I just think Louisville been slipping at the end of the game. Medina, Medina, big down there in that paint, bro. She big down there in that paint, and they got to go. They got to go to that paint. They got to get to that paint more often. Ohio State, South Carolina got to get to that paint more often, and our defense, man, from the guard point, we not holding them outside that 3-point line. We just letting them get the penetration. We letting them get the penetration. And then they just dribbling to wherever they want. Texas is dribbling to wherever they want on the court and getting whatever shot that they want. What is going on here? 5 points so far in the quarter. Terrible offense by South Carolina. 20-8 right now, man. What is happening here? About to say, don't let Roy start hitting threes, bro. If Roy start hitting threes, man. What y'all got on the menu tonight for lunch and or dinner, bro? I'm a little hungry right now. I don't know. I need some French fries or something, some tater tots or something, bro. I don't know. It might make me a grilled cheese or something. I don't know. Never too old for a grilled cheese. You feel? You make it gourmet. And they getting the penetration and the production in the paint too. So they getting the mid range and the paint. Man, what are we doing now? Come on now. Come on now. Booker leading, Wall scoring 8 points. Carlton with 3 rebounds and 3 assists. McDaniels on the other end is leading South Carolina. I mean, not much to lead. He only got 8 points. McDaniel has 5 points herself with 2 layups. I mean, a layup and a 3. And Edwards has 1 rebound and 1 assist. What are we doing? What's happening? I just had a Chipotle bowl. I'm chilling. Oh, that sounds real good too. I might go to Cadoba. That sounds good. We need to do a better job. This is unacceptable. You can't let a team jump out on you like this. Exactly, because it really makes it very difficult to get back into this game. Now here it is. Um Now here it is. This lead looks disgusting right now. But we've seen so far collectively almost every other game, one quarter looking one way, and the very next quarter is the exact opposite. So just like we're seeing the 25-9, let's say this quarter ends with 25 and 11 points or 27-11, something like that. We potentially can see the very next thing for South Carolina quarter 2. They put up 27 points and hold Texas to 9-10 points. And then we going into this game at halftime with a spread of 3 to 5 points either way. You know what I mean? So it's a lot that can happen, and it's a lot that usually does happen in a game, especially when you got the best 2 teams in the conference. We need to control the boards and take better shots if we want to get back in the game. Absolutely. Got to take better shots. Got to get more shots closer to the rim, easier shots. And then when you get those shots, you got to convert, bro. This ain't the time where we just missing buckets. Seafood boiled for me with extra shrimp, no head and black mussels. I was just talking about mussels too. Like, dang, I ain't had mussels in a minute. Them boys is good though. Dang, you eating like a king over there, my guy. Shout out to the Royals. we need to turn Texas over and go into transition. That's our usually our advantage against most teams, is that we are so fast, we're so strong in our defense that we can really use that to our advantage and initiate our offense through our defensive attack, which usually incites our invigorates our confidence and get us more bouncy. When we become bouncier on the offense, then those shots, those especially those deep shots, those threes tend to fall because now we ain't alligator arming it or not jumping as high. Now we really going up in that shot with full follow through, full confidence, and full belief that you're gonna drill that shot regardless of the tension or the pressure in the game. That being said, we got to get the easy shots first. Like, okay, McDaniel going to the basket, trying to euro, on two people in the paint, and that ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work. So it's 27-12, 27-12 to end this first quarter. We allow Texas to get 27 points up on the fourth quarter. I mean, in the first quarter. That's unacceptable. Unacceptable for opening. Vic looking sharp. I need long term. Borrow that jacket, tie, and pocket square. Facts though. Facts though. So this first quarter is over, y'all. First quarter is over. Um, again, no team is safe. No team is safe, not just in today's SEC tournament finale and rematch in Texas versus South Carolina, but no team is safe in March. Before March Madness kicks off, we need to be very prepared for our favorite team to get bounced. This is upset city. This is upset city. And I think the stage is set for what we don't expect, we need to start expecting. Okay. So again, no team is safe, man. We haven't had a lot of drama this conference semis and quarterfinals. We haven't had a heck of a lot of drama. It's been pretty predictable. We've had a few upsets with some 2 seed teams as far as top 16, 2 seed teams and 3 seed teams, but we haven't had a lot of shakeup. Today we can have potentially have some shakeup between Texas and South Carolina, and that's what I love to see. I don't want to see my team, South Carolina, my pick to win this game, take no L today. But I am interested in seeing a high level battle with high level competitive competition on both ends, right? Defensively, offensively, with both teams. That is the standard that I hope is set today, and that is the standard that I hope remains across the rest of the March Madness. That this game sets the tone and sets the energy of what we should expect from our best on the biggest stage. Now, again, it's a whole lot of game left. Okay, we got 30 more minutes in this game. We one quarter down. It's 27-12 with Texas winning this game. Okay. But will they walk out with the game as being the victors or being victorious? That's what we don't know. And that's why we love tournament basketball, because every game tells or is a chapter in this overall book we call March Madness. Again, in the title and the theme of this book we call March Madness is no team is safe. So I appreciate y'all for rocking and pulling up with Her Core, Her Rules, pulling up with your girl Naja Lee on this Sunday afternoon. Y'all know we normally go live on Mondays at 6 p.m. You feel me? So y'all pull up tomorrow at 6 p.m. where we're gonna be right here doing the same thing, recapping to today's games. We got more games today, right? We got TCU, we got against Virginia, so we got to recap the games. We got to talk about how this plays into the top 16, and then we got to talk about this March Madness predictor with bracketology, and see what we're gonna be looking forward to, and on March 14th, right, when this March Madness really kick off. So again, appreciate y'all for pulling up with me and rocking with your girl Naja Lee. Y'all already know the vibes and what the lick read, man. Before y'all leave out, let me know on the leave out, what's the most dangerous, who is the most dangerous team based on what we saw in this conference, right? All these conference games. What team do you think is the most dangerous team to upset somebody in March Madness? We've seen a lot of teams play. We've seen some teams excel. We've seen some teams fall, right? But what team do we think is the most dangerous out of all the Power Four conferences? We ain't got to talk about Big East right now. Power Four. What teams are the most dangerous as we lead into March Madness? LeBron ducking the Knicks. That's another topic, though. Let me see what the score is over there, though, in the NBA world. My Cavs lost to the Celtics. You know, we never look good against them, so I wasn't expecting much. Knicks and Lakers at 3:30 ABC. Knicks and Lakers, who y'all got in that game? Knicks and Lakers. It's a home game for the Lakers, but I like the Knicks, man. Knicks, the best team in defense, right? Best defensive team in the league. I think they're gonna definitely in the East. I think they're going to beat the Lakers today. They had a great game against actually Knicks last couple games have been pretty solid. So yeah, they had a great game against the Nuggets, blew them out. They lost to the Thunder by 3, but that's okay. The Thunder is just really that good. But then they beat the Spurs, blew them out a couple days ago. So I think the Knicks is gonna do what you said and and definitely watch the Lakers for sure. West Virginia and Minnesota are my upset sleeper picks. Okay, thank you, appreciate that. So you got West Virginia and Minnesota as your upset sleeper teams. Those are two great teams to pick for real, for real. I still got I want to have Ohio State, but I think their biggest weakness is them not really having no bigs per se. But if I had to really guess and just looking at these top 16 teams, do I think a sleeper team is in this mix? I don't think so. The only team that I do think that could potentially be a team that can upset maybe a top 8 team or a top 16 would be TCU. But I think that also with a great outing, I think Duke can be a sleeper team. So I'm taking Duke out of the ACC as my sleeper team. And are they a sleeper team? They're a top 10 team, but I'm taking them as my sleeper team in March Madness for sure. It looks like South Carolina's trying to get back in this game, man. And I'm about to get back in this game too. So y'all let me know again in the comments on the way out, in the live chat on the way out, what team, based on what we've seen in these conference Power Four conference game, what team do you think will be a sleeper team to knock off anybody on those top 16 and maybe potentially make that Sweet 16 this year? My boy my boy passing through said he got West Virginia and Minnesota to be one of those sleeper teams to go ahead and make that top 16 and damn sure maybe even potentially push for Elite 8. Y'all let me know in the comments on the way out how y'all feeling, how y'all doing. Y'all already know the vibes and y'all already know how we doing, man. I appreciate y'all. Y'all stay rooted. Peace and freedom. I'll see y'all tomorrow at 6 o'clock.